everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Be Real. I'm your host, Melissa Kiplagat, and I am joined by three of our hosts, one a very new host. I'm so excited to introduce you. So let's start with you, actually. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, Melissa, I'm really excited. Thank you guys for having me, first of all. To the gentlemen, they've been amazing, and to you, this is beautiful. So I'm Susan Keitani, and they call me the Posh Queen. I am representing my beautiful friend who's not here today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have a blog?
I have
that's
a
about to start?
podcast, yes.
Oh, a podcast. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so the podcast is going to be on Spotify. It's actually launching on Monday.
Nice. What's it called?
It's called Dangerously Honest.
Oh,
Yes, and
what can we expect?
Well, I need actually all of you to come with me
Yes.
to my podcast.
Yes.
You must say yes. I already asked him.
No, I'll say yes.
Good. Are you saying yes? Come on.
He will come.
He's already
I will tell him
smiling.
to come, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a podcast where, I mean, guys, public figures can just come, set the record straight, be dangerous, be honest, be bold, you know,
I like that.
a lot like what we're doing today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well,
Thank
we're really
you.
happy to have you here and to
Thank
hear
you.
all your
Thank you,
opinions on our
guys.
topics.
Thank you.
Moving on to CEO, do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, I'm CEO Charles Otieno, the one and only. You've never heard it from anywhere, you get it from here.
Awesome. And lastly, introduce yourself.
I'm Melvin Alusa, actor, father, businessman, and as you know, you're a leading man.
All right.
I love it.
Before we get started on our first topic, first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to Maybelline for the makeup. Thank you very much. And to our Samantha wines. Susan, let me ask you, out of the Samantha wines, here we have the white and we have the rosé, and there's also the red. Which one's your favorite?
The rosé.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I love the rosé. I'm a white girl. Like, I could, this bottle, I could do it by myself. I love it. But rosé is also really, really
I know,
good.
the rosé is very, I mean, it's classy, it's
Yes.
girly, it's cute, and it's
Yeah.
a bit pink, peach. It's so us.
Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna be enjoying our Samantha wines. If you don't have a bottle, haven't gotten a bottle, do it. I think the rosé is actually like their top selling.
It is.
Wine,
I think rosé is
out there
very
right now.
popular in Kenya.
Yeah. So as we sip our rosé, I want to start us with our first topic. So this is a conversation that was happening on Spice FM, and they were talking about a woman who, she was married. She found out that her husband had a 2-year affair.
Ouch.
Yeah. So she found out, they decided we're going to renew our vows, we're going to give this another go. And so the question they were asking was, number one, if a man cheats, will he cheat again? Or woman as well. If someone cheats, are they bound to cheat again? And even if they don't cheat again, do you feel like after someone cheats, the trust is too broken, that like having a productive, healthy relationship is just impossible? Susan, as our guest, what do you think?
Well, I do believe that human beings will be human beings, and
Yeah.
the human experience is real. That means, like, as human beings, we make mistakes. I know the guys are very happy for me to say that. But that being said, like, I don't believe that it's the right thing to cheat, but I do believe that cheating is repairable. Because I mean, it is. It's sad when it happens, because like trust is something that's hard to repair.
Yeah.
But I believe that if both of you are willing to work on it, and
Yes.
it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort, something that I know
Yes.
these brothers usually are not willing to do.
Yeah.
We
But like,
work. Susan, we work.
are you willing to? Would you be willing to work on it once if you got?
But we're always working.
You're
Actually,
working.
CEO, let me put it this
Yes.
way. If it was the other way around,
Yeah.
if it was your wife who cheated,
Why?
you believe that, would you trust her that she wouldn't do it again? And is it repairable? If the woman cheats?
First of all, let me ask, do you believe in salvation?
Why
Yes,
am I
I believe
laughing
in
in
salvation.
advance?
Do you believe in salvation?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe in change?
Yes.
So,
So even if it was your wife, you'd be like, no, it's okay.
there are,
And rebuild.
listen, there are structures of marriage. For a woman to cheat, the structure has totally broken down.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So, women, and I'm speaking, are not as visual as men we are. We look at a chick and we like that chick. And then, if you ask us after 2 days, it is done, it is gone, we do not even
don't think about it.
Some people don't even think the women they have had sex with. What are you
So if
talking
a woman
about?
cheats, it's very serious.
It's
That's
very
what you're
serious.
saying.
It is
I
structured.
agree.
Yeah.
It is not something out of the blues. So you must
Fair.
deal
I agree.
with
Yeah.
the issue
That led
and
her
which
there.
that led her there.
Okay. And
For
not-
men, as we just look at and we like and we club
Wow.
and it goes.
And you're gone. I completely agree with you. Because when a woman cheats, that marriage may not survive. In fact,
It
for
will
me,
not.
Yeah, it's bad.
personally, it's gone.
It's gone.
At the first sign or even kusikia tu kidogo that you've cheated,
Imeisha.
you're gone. There's no, it's irreparable. But for me, I'm sorry, but I expect to be forgiven. Why? Same thing. Same thing.
Susan, this
Same
is
thing
women
that
I
you're
have
saying.
no, 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 no.
Same thing you're saying because guys,
A lot.
we forget. It's visual.
It's visual.
It's menial.
But you
I
can't have
probably
self-restraint.
won't even do it again. I'm sorry.
No way.
I wouldn't have gone. However, in this case, a 2-year affair.
Yeah, that's not a joke.
A 2-year affair is long. It's
Long.
premeditated.
That's a relationship.
So-
They've
so-
said I love you to each other.
Yeah, I feel it's still repairable if they both sit down and look at where did the rain start beating.
I feel like
beating them.
Melissa,
Yeah.
it's double standards.
Of
From what I'm
course.
hearing, because
Of course, yes.
I feel like men, like especially in Kenya,
Yeah.
they do feel like if their wives cheated, they'd never forgive them. And for women, you guys expect for us to
Yeah,
forgive.
like it's not
That's
a big
what you're
deal. He
saying,
just cheated.
right?
Because
You
it
know
takes.
what's-
Because
Yeah. You know what's interesting? When I was, because I love asking men that question, especially
Ask.
married men.
Yes.
About like, yeah, if your wife would cheat, would you stay? Weirdly enough, a lot of the married men that I've met,
Yes.
they're like, if my wife cheats, imagine we'll move on with life. Like we've invested
Oh,
too much.
really?
We have kids. We have all these investments. As in, come on, we're not going to. 10 years
I'll-
later, we're not
listen.
going to.
I feel like
end
he
it.
would forgive. I feel like he wouldn't.
I would not go
I
beyond
wouldn't
that. for
forgive.
It's two different.
Oh,
Yeah.
To be honest,
I just
if,
use the S.
even if the marriage is 50 years old,
Okay,
It's
wait.
or one
Listen.
or 1
Okay,
month,
then
This
let me
man,
ask-
which
yeah.
men
We're
are
not
this
moving
one?
beyond
Which
that
married
point.
men are you talking to?
Imagine there are lots, like married men who've been married for like 10
So
plus
them they
years.
look at value, they
happened to
look
the
at
very
money,
friendly-
they look at money, they
Yeah.
look at all those
I think
things.
for them,
Listen,
they
I'll get
think
more money.
Marriage is more than just this
Listen.
love relationship. You've built an empire
Enough,
together.
let me-
Will you break it up for that?
An empire. I'll create another empire.
Hey.
This is Kenya. Listen, let me put it correctly.
Yeah.
In Africa, we are allowed to marry as many wives as we can.
So this is an
am Luo.
African
I'm Luo.
position.
I'm Luo. I'm Luo. I'm
It's
very
an African position.
And
No, but
my
the thing is,
value
when you
is-
marry someone, there's no deception there. There's no.
No.
trust.
I'll be
It's
straight up.
open.
I'll be straight up.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
but with cheating, there's a deception.
But number two, remember that how do we own property in this country? I'm gladly willing to let her own whatever we have together. And I'll set it fresh.
So, do you think, for the other part of the question, do you think if a man cheats, he's bound to cheat again?
No. That's why I asked you, do you believe in salvation?
Slow club.
I think a man will cheat again if there are no consequences to him cheating the first time.
What are the
So
consequences,
if
Melissa?
if a man cheats on you, which a lot of women do, and they go after the other woman, and they unleash all the rage on this other woman, the man she never even scolds, he'll cheat again. Because honestly, why? Why would he not? If he knows I can cheat, I'll get away with it. She'll just go and fight with the other woman. I can pick another other woman and continue. So I think if a man is not going to cheat again, you have to hold him fully and wholly responsible for what he has done and make it a thing of, me, I don't care about the other person, it's you. Let's handle you.
and speaking of cheating,
Yeah.
I think we can move on and say,
Yes.
just to
Don't
so
cheat in conclusion.
don't cheat.
But if you can,
Look at that
But
face.
don't cheat. However,
if you cheat,
for a man, if you cheat, don't get caught.
don't be gay. That's what I
But if you get caught, now brings this new topic. Let's talk about
Yes.
is about openness and being honest and being and confessing. You know, the other day I heard about there was a story on the internet where a guy was talking about and saying, his girlfriend convinced him to confess, most likely, of course, to cheating.
Yes.
And he went ahead and confessed because she
He was trying to be honest.
she guaranteed him that he'll be forgiven.
Don't believe that.
It's a trap.
and in a
Don't ever
moment,
believe that.
and in a moment of foolishness, I call it, and being vulnerable, he went ahead and did it. And of course, the rest is history. So what do you guys think? Should when a man is caught in these sort of things, especially, let's be honest, women can forgive anything. Women don't even care if you go rob a bank, you go you've depleted all the finances in account. Those are irrelevant. The one thing that a woman or a wife or a lady cannot accept is that another woman has slept with his man.
Yeah.
So should I come and say, darling, I did it? What are you looking for? Will you forgive? Will you forget? Is it true?
Okay, for me personally, if you cheat me, I want to know. Purely because me, I don't be the one looking stupid in a room. Where everyone here knows me, I've been cheated on, and I'm here, baby, 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 and everyone's looking at you
But
like,
it's
whoa,
always like
yeah.
that.
Because me, I've been that person saying, whoa, yeah, to a chick, and I hate that. I hate, like, don't humiliate me, at least let me know. But, in fairness also, we always say as women, we want the truth. But we can't handle it. It's the
That's
truth.
true.
So what I would say is, I don't want the truth, but I also don't want you to lie to me. How you figure those two out, that's not my business. But don't lie to me, but also don't tell me the truth.
So what are you saying, Melissa?
Listen,
Me, I would say,
I don't know what I'm saying, but do it.
I am Rihanna. Just lie to me. I can't take
You want
the
to be
truth.
lied to.
Just lie to me. I
Listen.
like the way you lie, actually. Let's just do the Riri thing.
Yeah.
you see,
But just lie
Lie
well.
to me.
Lie well so I can believe it.
Don't get busted. Don't ever.
Melvin,
To all the men, don't get busted.
And don't
CEO,
go around
get
telling
busted.
everyone about what you're
I
doing.
tell guys every day
Yeah.
that women cannot handle the truth.
We can't.
We
Because the
cannot.
truth is too heavy.
Your tires will
It's
be
a yoke on
inflated.
them.
It's true.
Your car will be turned.
When you start telling your
Hey.
wife or your girlfriend today that you are getting auctioned, she'll go into depression before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll
true.
leave you.
And
Yeah.
The first thing,
Yeah.
and that you can't pay school fees. Oh, now we are. So those hard truths
Lie
cannot
to
be
us.
discussed.
Okay, wait, but I think there's a line.
No.
Like, okay, so does it mean that men cannot talk or be open at all with women, with their females?
It's-
Is that what we're saying?
No, we are saying
Up to
that
a
you
certain
can
extent,
tell
yes.
them, you can tell your partner
Yeah.
things.
Lakini sio
This
kila
is
kitu.
these are our kids are going to school. They're doing well. I think we can change schools. We are buying this house. We are shortfall of this money.
Yeah.
We are shortfall.
Yeah, we have this much,
But we are
a
short.
small percentage we don't have. Yeah.
But when you say
There's
that
nothing at all.
there's nothing in the bank,
It's no wonder you're happily married.
you will
just
crazy.
right.
You,
You know
you
what
will-
to tell the truth
Truth.
about and what to lie. Yeah.
For me, I agree with you. Truth with a woman is completely measured.
It's
Forget
measured.
about sexual
It's true. That's
offenses.
true. Yeah.
Truth has to be measured. You have to be very calculative with what you're saying, how
Yeah.
you're saying it. And also, I think as much as we say intimacy, just tell me everything, tell me how it
Don't.
is, tell me how it
Yeah,
is.
don't do that.
Don't.
At the end of the day, for a man, CEO, when you completely are open and you're
Everything.
vulnerable, this information also
Will be used against you.
will be used
But
against
isn't
you.
it
Totally.
In a
men-
moment,
Melissa,
in a
isn't
moment
it
of
men who
weakness,
use info?
in a moment of weakness, I've opened
By
up.
the way,
I've
yes.
opened up. In a moment of weakness, I've opened up and told you something, not even financial,
Something vulnerable.
something vulnerable.
Yeah.
You will say, "Oh yeah, baby, it's fine, it's fine." In an argument, it will be used as an arsenal.
The
Tap!
very next day.
Yeah.
Even the very next day.
Yeah.
So this is something we have learned as men, and we have decided the truth is not our portion. The truth you can't handle at all.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Even if I'm caught red-handed, like now in the act, I'll say,
It
babe,
It wasn't me,
It
Shaggy.
wasn't me.
Satan's work is happening
Shaggy.
here. I've been bewitched.
I mean,
Yeah, something, because you can't just,
No, I think
So-
you're right.
yeah.
It is measured, but I think as a man, you're the leader of the home. You can't show me your vulnerability the way me I show you vulnerability. Because like I think I've said this before. We can't both be crying. If
Yeah,
something
true.
goes wrong, I can't be looking at you for
True.
help,
Help,
and you're
yes.
looking back at me for
I think
help.
both of them are alphas. Both of you guys are alphas.
Yeah.
So alphas don't want to show,
but also it opens up a very sensitive door, because believe me, there are women also who I will be vulnerable with. There's a woman I'll be vulnerable
AKA
with
the mistress.
who I don't care about being vulnerable with. I will be vulnerable with her and not you.
Yeah.
Because with you I want to protect this institution and I want to keep
Exactly.
this
There's
thing
no
intact.
consequences
However,
for
with
her.
this one,
That's where mistresses come in.
that's
Yeah.
where mistresses come in. And that's why it's the oldest profession. And it will keep going.
But you can't just be vulnerable with your boys
So with the
instead.
mistress.
With my boys.
So with the
So
mistress,
that they
you
laugh
pour
at you.
out kila kitu. Utamwambia kini kulibaya,
Eh.
things are thick.
Yeah.
So I come and cry at yours, do at see I'm being
Surely.
auctioned.
See, then you
So you'll tell your mistress that.
Of course.
go to a therapist
Damn.
instead. Me, I don't want this
Them-
business
but
story.
them-
If she's female, be careful.
Damn, that's all I'm saying. Now I see why mistresses exist.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
But
No, I
what is
But
understand
listen,
their point, yeah.
biblically, mistresses have been there. So
Biblically,
From
vows,
Abraham.
Remember
vows
your
are
wife
also
is
been-
watching.
No, it's true. But mistresses have been there. Hagar, Sarah, Israel. How many wives? There were only 2 wives.
David had 8 wives and 324 concubines.
Everyone always had
Yeah,
concubines.
there's always someone.
Why was it important to have it?
Yes.
It's because it was to deflate other tensions.
Thank you.
You've heard about the new family setups.
Yeah.
Where there's now women with 2 husbands, right?
That is
Yeah.
madness. Susan.
I don't think it's madness.
That one,
I don't think that makes
don't
sense
talk about
only
that.
in terms of me. I don't know how I'm
Susan.
going to be led by 2 men.
That is madness.
That one is, that's
Susan,
witchcraft. That's what it is.
that is madness.
I just wanted to see their
So,
reaction.
reaction.
let's-
Like, I love it.
let's
I love
move
it.
on.
Gets so triggered.
Guys, I want us to move into a different
Okay,
discussion
yes.
briefly. Over the weekend, or is it a weekend, or Kamene
Yeah,
Goro
recently,
and my good friend DJ Bones from Mombasa. I knew him before he became a big shot. He was playing at a restaurant known as Big Tree. Big Tree was by my good friend called Luciano, another Italian man. We were very close.
Oh, nice.
So now I've seen that since he got married, they are together with
They're very
our-
cute.
Yeah, they
yeah.
are. They are.
Now I see that they share even toothbrush. Let me just say. How
Well-
in the hell? But Melvin, you're laughing. I do not want to complete. Is love until you share toothbrush?
I think it's super cute,
Yes.
but I think there needs to be boundaries.
So you wouldn't
Sure.
share a toothbrush?
No, that's disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
And then also, I feel like you need to maintain, as a woman, like, we're feminine, and you want to, have some mystery, right? I mean, something for you to at least be able to look forward to. When I open up too much as
Yeah.
a woman, like, what's left?
I think for them also, they went ahead and even said, even, in the big office, where you're having your, really you should just be alone in the toilet doing your thing, either number
Yeah.
one or number 2.
Yeah.
They are so intimate and so open that,
wow.
the door is open.
That's-
Guys, this thing can't
We
happen.
need to drink
This
to
thing,
this.
I know,
this
for
thing,
real.
Can we
This thing,
just toast?
this thing, I
Toast.
agree. I agree with Kaitani. Some
Yeah.
boundaries, need to be set into place. Yes, we love each other. Toothbrush maybe perhaps, but even now, if you want to wear my boxer to work, is fine. But things like now, when our bodily fluids are, or rather, plus also, when you're in that space where you're
I can't
having.
even drink.
I know.
Let me just put it down first.
In the space where I'm having my private moment, where I'm having number 2 or whatever you call it, number 1, I want to hold a magazine. It's my time to think. It's my time to just be and just relax. I don't want someone looking at me and saying, "What?"
Me, I don't even poop.
So,
Me, I poop roses.
Let's have some
Exactly.
let's have some
happen.
boundaries.
Those.
Let's have some boundaries.
We just smell, my poop smells like,
Yes. Valenda.
Okay, so let me ask you, CEO.
Yes.
What about, like he mentioned, boxes? What about clothes? Do you mind if your wife wears your clothes?
There's no
like,
problem
what's the
with
limit
that.
of
There's
what
no-
you guys can
that-
share?
That's clothes. Those are very normal things.
Dio?
Dio is okay. What I'm
Even the
saying
roll-on
is,
one?
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
haven't
trying
had
to say
shaving kit.
is that it is important to have your own space.
Yeah.
Your own space and what is very personal. You understand? And there are very many personal things. How are you raising kids? You can't just be going to the toilet and you open the door.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with kids in the house. Woo, yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So there's order. I don't understand why people have substituted order with very many trivial things in life. If you want to do your thing, do your thing. And that's why
the
even
ideal would even be to have separate bathrooms.
That
if
would be
possible.
ideal.
ideally,
That would be
ideally
ideal.
in the African setting, and I know you guys know this, that men used to have their own houses,
Yeah.
where if the women, because you are not allowed to be at all the time with your woman. All the time you're there, you can't.
You can't.
That's why with the Maasais, I used to go and
You
put
can't.
the spear, right?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
tonight, it's going down in this house.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, if you want mkosane, even a weekend where, like these long weekends that begins Friday or goes through Sunday or Monday, those long weekends, you have to give it a break because just staying with your wife face to face for even 2 days,
Yeah.
before you know it, mmekosana.
You know each other too well.
Yeah,
know.
because I think a lot of couples struggled during COVID, like when there was
Oh, your guys
lockdown,
were-
because
COVID
they were
was-
around
it
each
was
other
bad.
Melissa,
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah, COVID was even prolonged. I'm talking about even a short stint, like just a long weekend.
Even a long weekend, you can't hang out with me for 72 hours.
Me, I know a friend of mine who was dumped because he goes to the house. And this is a truth. I was shocked.
Because he's home too much.
This guy works in the city center, and they live in Gara. So at 4:30, he does not
home.
even board a matatu. He just walks across. So by 5, the guy is in the house. So one day the wife asked, you,
Do
Wait,
something.
you,
where's the mistake?
other men are out there. You, what are you coming to do in
But
the
I'm
house?
sure he was
Exactly.
reading the Gazette.
Exactly. Damned if you, damned if
He wasn't helping out. And
So-
what make it?
So the woman, when she's seated with her friends, they're catching up. They are doing their own thing.
Oh, so
You
you just
are
So
need
you
that
are
space.
even the neighbors were saying, I know your husband is about to come, let me go. So now,
Boy.
and then the next day in the morning you walk out, at 6, you're 5:30, you're back in the same house.
But this is the thing, women can't be pleased.
But wait, it's
He
also-
comes home, it's a problem.
women
He
can't be
doesn't come
pleased.
home, it's a
Damned
problem.
if you do,
But
damned if
this
you
guy
don't.
is not a romantic guy. Because when you get home early, what do? Alikuwa tu anaketi hapo.
So
Remote too.
Child.
And that's why,
Remote.
and that's why now there's even a trend nowadays happening, where men are having, they pay for Airbnbs like for even 3 months, where they can just go, because sometimes
My
I
man
may
will
I may
not
want
do
to go
that.
I may want
Sorry,
to I may
no.
want to go home.
and we have men caves.
Like for
by
me,
the
I'm an
way.
actor.
Yeah.
I'm not acting January to December.
Yeah.
There are days when I'm just not doing really much in terms of acting.
Production.
So maybe I want to work from the house and whatnot. But the moment you begin to stay in the house Monday to Friday, even the maid despises you. The maid. Actually, 11 o'clock, you're changing channels.
That's the way they say, "Iki kimutu akitoki."
Hiki kiboma kitoki hapo ndani. So you have to have somewhere to go.
And he's the one paying the rent,
Possibly
but he's the
go
one who's
some
not
point
wanted in that
for
house.
heaven's sake. Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Take the
That
dog
was
for a
nice.
walk.
Susan, you want to take us to a break?
Yeah, gosh, it's been so much fun. But guys, it's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back after this short break.
New Superstay Vinyl Ink from Maybelline, New York. Shake up your long wear with no budge vinyl color. Color lock formula. Up to 16-hour wear. New Superstay Vinyl Ink, Maybelline, New York.
Welcome back to the realest show in this country. Let's be real, and where we just get rugged and raw. We don't leave any stone unturned. We've got amazing topics coming. Now, there's a very interesting article I ran across this week. There's a wonderful lady. She's not from this country. Just from the way she was talking in her vernacular, she's either Rwandese or Ugandan, somewhere there.
Okay.
She's 123 years old, so you can imagine, a century and 23.
Good for her.
And being someone who was born and raised in those years, it was only prudent for you to wait for suitors to come. When you get to the age where you're meant to get married,
Yeah.
suitors come to your home. They identify you and say, we've seen someone here. Would you kindly give this girl to our son or whatever in marriage? But she says anybody who so at some point she wasn't ready because she just felt maybe she wasn't ready for marriage, but men kept coming. Men of different
Yeah.
societal classes and whatever. They begged. She said, no, I don't want. I'm not ready. I'm waiting for the right one. She gave all manner of excuses. And then guess what? They stopped coming. They became less and less and less. And then at some point, no one was coming. Now, at this time when no one is coming is when now she feels she wants to get married. But was there anybody in sight? No. Had she ever been touched by a man? No.
Oh, she's still virgin.
Virgin. So I'm imagining at 40-something, Now men have stopped because also the biological clock is not fair or it's harsh.
I'm 40.
It's harsh on
Imagine.
women.
I'm just turning 40. Slow down on that.
Okay, the 50 at 60, don't worry. So now,
Thank
so now she is lonely, has got no one to take care of her. She's asking, she's still, but however, the human spirit is not easily killed. She's
Hoping.
She's hoping against hope at 123, when all the biology has done physics. That someone somewhere will come traveling in, and she's ready.
She needs a night in a
First
shed.
of all, I feel like
Guys-
he's addressing us. Did you get that
I
vibe?
feel
I feel like there's a way
targeted.
he's speaking. You can just
say
say
our names.
Susan, just
Say
say,
our
Lisa,
names.
this is for you ladies. You're not being too
pretend.
choosy. She's gotten to 40. Right here, Melissa.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should just regroup.
Yeah, I know. Let's
Do you
just
want me
talk.
to just
Let's
come
just
over
talk.
Okay,
and-
you guys.
So listen, so me, I feel very targeted by this. I think
Apologize.
I apologize. No, it wasn't.
he doesn't
was
apologize.
not
He's
Mel-
not
it's
sorry.
not
Yeah,
Mel-
There can be no comeback from
Listen.
that.
I think what men are what the subliminal is that you shouldn't have very high standards because no one is going to meet them, and if you keep having them, you're going to end up alone. Listen.
Melissa, it is not
Listen,
you.
and for the viewers who've been watching this show
not you.
every week, no, the viewers who've been watching this show every week, from 1 year send me one. Do I have high standards?
This
though?
is evil.
Do I have high standards?
Okay, not you.
Because me, I feel like me ask for the bare minimum. So yeah, me, I think I don't know her situation in terms of what was her reasoning for turning down these men. But I'm sorry, me, marriage, like we've been talking about marriage is not easy. So now if you're marrying somebody who he has less than the bare minimum, as in like, why are you making your life difficult? So I feel like you should wait for the person who like, you know, we can grow
Yeah,
together,
you
we can
should
thrive
never
together.
compromise.
And then also, guys,
Sorry.
imagine being single is not horrible. Being single can be a fantastic life also. So
According
I'd
to
rather
her-
be single than be in stress with a man who has an affair for 2 years and
According to a lady who's been single for 123 years, who
That's
has been
true.
single
She's
longer
got
than you,
dementia.
she's
She
saying
doesn't
it's
even
not,
know what
it's not,
she's
it's not,
saying,
she-
right?
she's saying it's not nice, you know.
First of all,
yeah,
Melissa,
Okay, do you want to make any proposals today? Because I feel like
I know,
he's trying to insinuate something. I
No,
think
he's
He's always
just
insinuating
open your
my
heart.
standards
Not
are
at all,
too
not
high.
at
This
all.
is the moment.
Okay.
I feel like you should not be shy. You don't have to go about it like this.
no, first of all, we are telling Melissa that her standards are very high. But Melissa,
And
lower
realistic
them.
standards.
They are
I need to
realistic.
go back and watch all the
Susan, okay,
episodes.
Susan, you don't know us. Let me list them quickly. He needs to make more money than me.
Okay.
I have a child, so he needs to understand what it means to be with someone who has a child.
So
I prefer
he probably
for
needs to
him
have a
not.
child as well.
She
prefer-
Wait.
doesn't want
She
to.
does have high standards.
No,
I'm not with you.
I prefer for him not to have kids. 'cause
Wait,
I
what?
understand the
That's
complexities.
double standards.
'Cause I already have complexities on this side. I don't want also complexities
No, but
on
you
that side.
can't,
That's
like,
too
babe.
much.
Once you have a child, then you really have to just be open.
I'm
So,
not
you
close
see,
with, but
she
I
has
prefer.
high
She does.
standards.
You're on your own.
Are you getting it?
She has. We are done.
Melissa,
Forget about it. Let me
Sarah,
tell you. Let me
actually,
go back
just
to the
preach.
topic.
Are they high?
They're too high. Forget about
Yeah,
it.
Melissa,
Let's
you're-
move on to this guy, this lady you're talking about. First of all, that woman is
Sorry,
mad.
babe. I love you though.
It's madness. If
What in the standards? I'm still there.
Yeah. Okay, fine. What's the madness in it? Tell us.
it's madness because her age group, you know, this woman was born before internet. So her chances of getting men beyond her village. Let's look at the way technological advancement has helped people to couple up.
Has it
It's
helped
easy.
you? Because it hasn't helped me.
Lisa, we need to have a session.
Girl, we need to have a session.
We need to meet a dangerously honest after
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
So, with that, she could only date a certain group of people around the villages she's coming from. 123 years means even the means of transport, the motor car and the industry had not grown to where it is. So, I think this woman did not understand herself. We cannot help someone who
I think
cannot
she's just
understand
sad and
herself.
lonely, and
Yeah.
it's just an age thing. But
Yeah.
honestly, I think you're being hypothetical. If you, because I mean, we've gotten to know that she does have high standards, right?
I don't. I don't.
Look, the fact is, this amazing lady at 123, again, every woman on the earth has suitors at some point.
Everyone.
This world is fair. God is fair. God is just.
God
At
gives you
some
a
point,
chance.
at some point, everyone. But I'll risk being crucified, but I'll just say it.
Just walk on eggshells.
Yeah.
Just be
Let me just walk on
careful.
eggshells. There's a time frame. There's
For
a
everything, yes.
for everything.
Everything,
And
yes.
especially you have to understand time works to our advantage as men.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
for you guys, time
It's a
doesn't work to your
disadvantage.
advantage.
That's true.
You have to, you have to accept that. So at a certain point, you stop, to be honest, being that person that now men are really gravitating towards. At some point. For men, ours goes longer. For you guys, it's a blink of it's a moment.
Okay.
And once it passes, then your chances really go down by almost 50%.
So Susan, you've
I think
just
she needs to
turned-
understand.
Yeah.
She needs to accept. I know her. I'm trying to understand her plight, but at this point, even at 123, a woman is meant to keep you warm
That's what I'm
and,
saying. Was that
and nice.
hypothetical?
Yeah.
What am I hugging at 123?
Okay, so Susan,
What am I cuddling?
You just turned 40. I saw your birthday on Real
Well,
Housewives.
Hey.
I'm not yet turned 40.
Oh,
Not
so
yet.
it's still
I'm
coming.
still 39.
So do you feel like
birthday.
your standards are
In September.
your standards have lowered now,
Not at all. Actually, my standards are at an all-time high.
right?
Yes. But it's
Because you know yourself more now.
I'm
like, you know
also
what you
at the
need.
prime of my life, to be honest.
Yeah,
and I
okay.
do feel like I have a lot of time still, to be honest. But I also do recognize that I need to meet an amazing partner in this season.
Yeah.
Possibly before the age of 44, 45. But I have been very intentional about it. I have spoken about it. I'll talk to you about it.
Girl, me too.
Really?
Come, man.
You see, what
Yeah,
you don't know,
I'm very
what you don't know with
intentional,
Melissa,
like, I
why
want
we
to
say her
marry.
standards are
Really? I'm
unrealistic.
very intentional.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
So we need to talk about. I mean, like
should.
as women, you don't think that you'll bump into the love of your life. It won't happen. You have to be intentional.
Yes.
Intentional. And also the love of your life. Can we
Fine, he can have kids.
can we please
okay.
can we please separate
Fine, he
men
can have
and
kids.
can we
And
please
boys.
can we please separate men and money?
Well, wait, but we've not talked
No,
about
no,
Because
money here.
no,
No, Melissa,
Melissa, please.
Melissa.
Can you please separate men?
That is Melissa.
Melissa,
You can't.
marry a man or get if he has vision, he has verve.
Susan,
he's going
you
he's
have
going
children,
he's
I
going
have-
somewhere. He's going somewhere.
As,
He-
as mothers who have kids, it's
vision thing,
impossible. You can't do that as people
he's
who have
wa-
kids.
he's
We've
a
been doing
worker.
My kids don't
What-
care
Yeah,
about
you
vision.
still do
Our whole
vision.
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah,
I'll-
you still do
I will
vision.
provide-
Potential.
I'll
Are you
provide
doing
for you.
potential? I'm not
No.
doing
I'll
potential.
provide for you. I will love you.
No,
I'll give you
no,
attention.
no, no,
I'll
no,
work
no,
in that
no,
factory.
no.
I'll work my head off. I'm
We
trying to provide
are
for this
not
house.
doing potential.
Cut down.
We are working with what we see and what you have.
Yes, so-
Current
so-
situation. I'm
so
not going
there-
to dream about having
I'm not dreaming
more.
with you. Not
this
at my age.
has to be sustainable.
No. We're not
Listen.
18.
Where you are right now.
Probably, Susan, probably
But
I've
potential.
not gotten my break probably.
It's
I might
okay,
get
then
my break next
go
year.
find someone else who will take that trace. I'm
Yes.
not taking it.
My,
Sorry.
my break may be next
No,
year.
Next year.
No. You see,
Okay.
I'm sure we've done that before, where you're
When
waiting.
you're young and you
We
can
don't
do
have
that.
time.
Yeah, but I have kids. My kids are not dreaming with you.
Yeah.
She's not gonna eat your potential.
And then, can I tell you the worst part?
Yeah.
Okay, now we've switched the topic, but the worst part is you'll support a man,
And then he'll get there and go for
walk
someone
with
else.
him,
Yes.
Thank
he
you.
starts to make money. What does he do? First things first.
Yeah.
Upgrade the woman.
Exactly.
Boom.
And
That's
before
why
we,
you
because
made
we're
the
going
right
to, yeah, we're
choices
going to
first.
get
No,
back.
no, no.
He's
You
going to woke
cannot,
up
you
with a
cannot,
23-year-old
no,
hot
Susan.
model.
Susan, you cannot claim that as men upgrade women.
That is a
Yeah.
fact.
It's only that
What-
the women we have do not upgrade themselves.
Yes.
If you
Because she's too
upgrade,
busy
no,
supporting
no,
your
no, 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 no,
potential
no.
to upgrade herself.
No, she has
In
to
the struggle
upgrade
with
herself.
Move with
What
the times.
beauty-
Move
listen,
on.
Move with
you know?
What
time.
beauty
Yeah.
is to women is what money is to men.
Exactly.
So you see, it's fair because we are growing older. Look, I'm turning 40, but I'm still hot. Fact.
And let that be the
Absolutely.
end of that conversation because I think you've ended it on a perfect note. Yeah. So going on to our next conversation.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah. She's finished it perfectly and there's nothing to be said about that anymore. So our next conversation is...
Do you need a sip?
Hey, I know.
Hey.
Hey, just accept
Do
and
you want
move on. Sour. Our next conversation, I want to talk about tribalism in this country. So there's a story about a guy in the Lake region whose parents were like, you're not marrying someone outside of our tribe, by the way. And if you do, we are going to curse you. And he ended up marrying someone, I think, from Mount Kenya region. When I saw this story, I was honestly shocked. First of all, me, as like my dad's Kalenjin, my mom's Ambu, so like me, I come from that.
Your
kind
dad
of a
is?
My dad's Kalenjin. My mom is Embu.
So you're Kalenjin, okay.
Huh? Sawa. You can
No,
see
she's
how
Kalenjin.
it works. He knows why he's saying that.
No,
yeah,
it's
so I'm like, for me, but maybe it's also because we live in Nairobi and it's very
Cosmopolitan.
yeah, exactly, cosmopolitan. But I was really shocked. That's still going on. That whole you must marry within our tribe or else. What do you say? Because you're Mr. Tribe in our.
Listen,
You're Mr. Culture.
He has
Kenyan
crossed his
culture.
legs.
there are two things which are, first of all, is that many parents do
Yes.
not understand. If you come from the interior
Yes.
and the only women you've seen
Are your women?
are your women. Number two, the cultures are totally different.
They are. Very.
And you cannot understand why you do. There's always that fear.
Yeah.
The third thing which actually affects these families is the fact that probably these things have happened before. And I'll give you an example. This being the SM Otieno Wamboi case left a big mark into the socio-cultural activities of very many tribal groups, especially the Luos and the Kikuyus. So many people looked at, because the burial customs of Luos are very pronounced and they are profound. When they imagine that if you marry outside the tribe, probably this woman and their son will go and be buried elsewhere. You see that in our cultures, we are custodian. We say, let me go get philosophical a bit. Aristotle says that the language is a mimesis of culture.
Wow.
Yes.
Spoken as a Luo word.
Yes.
Now, and
Yeah.
when you have, when the language differs between two people, the older people always think that someone is lost. But if you live in a cosmopolitan environment like we come from, one of my sister-in-laws is Kikuyu, from my elder cousin. They live there, she speaks Luo. There are very old Kamba women there. But if this person have never interacted with another tribe, it will be very difficult. For them, it's not tribal. It's not tribalism. For them, it is the fear of the unknown.
Yeah. And the differences, the cultural
It's
differences.
the cultural
like you said,
differences. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
If maybe in Melvin and our clans, what we do, for example, if you serve chicken, there are parts which a woman should not eat.
Yeah.
But
It's
another
simple.
tribe will not.
Yeah.
does not
Now
follow that,
this
yeah.
woman will come and start eating, and there's an order, and then she eats, and then those other guys are like,
She's eating my parts.
she's eating my part. So you and the boyfriend or the husband, you understand. But the village, do they understand? They don't.
Yeah, and I think that the part where I will say I think the intermarrying is sad for me, and I come from an intermarriage myself, is I feel like eventually we'll lose the essence of our cultures and the essence
fabric.
of our language. Yeah, because like for me, I'm closer to my Embu side than my Kalenjin side, so that culture is the one that I relate to more. So I'm thinking now as in like, it's like the Kalenjin side now in my line is dying, you know what I mean? And so I feel like that intermarriage, you'll get to a point where it's like now when it comes to, when someone is getting married, you're like, I know which culture we're going to follow. Because
But
the
you know,
dad
in
comes
the-
from two
Melissa,
cultures.
In the greater scope of things, like
Yeah.
it's such a big world. Kenya is such a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
Where are we even having such issues? Because
Because
honestly,
our
like we
cultures are
should
so
be
wonderful.
dating as Africans, first of
Yeah.
all. We should be looking at being Pan-African. We
Yes.
should be looking at being East African. Forget even about being Kenyan. We should be looking at like the world as a bigger, you know, we're being very narrow in thinking about tribes. And that's what divides us, even as Africans.
I just think our tribes are
But-
so
but
beautiful.
I think-
our cultures are so beautiful.
I think it's
But
happening.
we
I
need
think
to change because the
There's-
world is changing. We're now global. Like now the internet has brought us together. You're able to fly to whatever you want to fly to in a very short time. Things have to just change. We cannot be the old Kenya that we were. Yeah, and
I
we
think-
have to accept it.
I think we lose some. We win some, we lose some.
Yeah.
In
Yes.
this situation, we lose. You know, it's our. There's something you'll get. There's something you.
Yeah.
My family has intermarried with people globally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you know, situation
Yeah, my father
like
has.
Kenyan.
Yeah. So, but, and with that, of course, there's the mix of cultures which enriches whatever you have.
Yes.
You know, there's if you pick the pros of each culture
Yeah.
and you mix them, they become plus
Look
also
at how-
plus also genes. You know, the mixture of genes is better
Good,
because
yeah.
It's more robust, yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
a way you produce a super gene
Yeah.
in the children, in the offspring. However, I also accept what TCO is saying. At some point, I'm a Luya man. I want,
Well,
I,
your
we have a variety of
Mrere.
vegetables. Mrere, risotsa, rihobe, those kind of things. I want those things because
They don't even know what
those things appeal to me,
Passion,
Yeah.
and also they, you know,
It's
they
what you know,
they
yeah.
enhance my genes as, you know, we just have certain genes plus laws which come from these foods that we take. But now when you marry someone from maybe Tanzania or whatever, they don't know these things. Those are guys who eat mchele, viazi, and whatnot.
But
And
that's what makes the world so beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Our cultures are
at
so
some-
diverse
It's
and beautiful.
diversity.
at some
It's
point,
diversity.
at some point, you get tired of eating rice and waru.
So it's more
You get
comfortable for
tired.
you to be with someone who understands you, who comes from the same culture.
At some point, yes. At some
Yes.
point, yes. At some point, this culture has a way of supporting itself in
Yes,
its
yes.
own way.
I believe that, yeah.
Yeah, and I believe also some marriages may have lasted longer if we married from maybe
We came
close.
on the same-
Yeah,
Yes.
but the risk is there, and we do it. And like I'm saying, I'm not refusing.
Yeah,
We're
you can
global.
get married, yes.
However, you win some.
Yeah, I
you lose
guess.
some.
Well,
You
I
see-
think
Yeah.
I think there's still a way you can have it. You can have it all. Like look at Kenya, for example. There's still Japanese restaurants. There's still Thai restaurants.
Yeah.
They've been able to still become global, but still
Yes.
be able to retain that. We just need
That's
to figure that
true.
out. You
Yeah.
know, nowadays when I travel, for example, I'll go to China. There'll be a Kenyan restaurant. It's a sign that we still exist in multiple places.
Yes.
So I don't think we need to be as fearful
It-
as we are
Of
feeling.
losing our
What,
culture.
what we think, I would say is that for some people, if you think marrying outside your culture is difficult, then stick to your culture.
Yeah. Whatever works for you. man.
Whatever works.
rocks your
But
boat.
for
Yeah.
many
Whatever-
people who can afford, remember that you can marry out of your culture when you have better education, better knowledge
a
of
value
other
system.
people.
Yeah.
You have
And,
moved
yeah,
out and
experiences,
traveled
yeah.
and
You're
interacted
exposed,
with
yeah.
people. That exposure gives you chance to marry out.
Absolutely.
But if you have not,
Then-
because if
Still-
you try and marry from a different culture, the clash will be irredeemable.
Yeah.
I agree.
Irredeemable.
It's a value system
Yeah.
thing. I don't even
Yeah.
think it's a culture thing. It's a value system thing based on how you were raised, who your
Yeah.
parents are. There's so many things.
I get you. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's
That was
move
a
on.
peaceful.
Yeah. We're
done.
agreed.
Let's move on. Now, first of all, me, I don't bet. I would say that. Personally, I do not bet. I do not entertain betting because I think betting is like a drug. Eh? You can end up losing everything.
Yes.
But if you can bet and win, in fact, I congratulate people who bet and make millions out of it because it's work of genius.
Are you one of those lucky ones?
I have never
Have you
tried
ever
it.
won anything?
No,
Have you?
I work for it.
Not really, no.
So now there's a boy, a 19-year-old boy who, in Nigeria, who placed a bet and won lots of money. And the father is so mad, he wants the money to return, the boy to return the money. Because his belief
Yeah.
does not allow him to eat money from
From betting.
betting. What is your take? Anyone?
Hey, me, no, he's not giving that money back. As in, like, if he's won it, it's already here.
Yeah, 19
And I
years.
think they don't even come from, like, a prosperous background.
Yes, they're
So me, I
poor.
would say,
They have
yeah,
rent
so I would- I
issues,
would
They have
say
rent
keep-
issues.
Keep the money. What I would say is, as a father, maybe guide him on how to make smart financial decisions so that the money doesn't disappear. Because it's known that a lot of people who win the lottery very soon are broke right after because they just don't have the wisdom of knowing how to handle money. So I would say more that maybe you should tell the kid, use some of that money and invest in getting some financial knowledge so you can actually help yourself with that money. But giving it back,
Absolutely, because-
millions. It cannot.
Because you see, money in itself is a currency, is a medium of exchange. Money in itself is not evil. It's not at all. Money is just money.
Yeah,
Money. Therefore, it is us human beings who give personality to money. It is
That's a
us
good
who.
point,
Yeah. The intention of my heart is therefore what makes money money. You know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So where he's coming from, with his values and whatnot, he says, "Oh, money won from betting and whatnot," but he's forgetting that the aspect of money and what money can do positively. He's disengaging that, and just thinking he got this money through a certain way.
And betting is not
He
illegal.
has got no
It's not
rent.
something illegal.
Probably he has got no food. He doesn't even know how this family will go through university. I think he needs to sit down and get talked to by ours uko Nigeria, and just like you're saying, get financial advice
Yes,
and whatnot, and just let the boy be. Surely he has
Yeah.
betted, he has won.
What do
You know,
think,
parents
yeah?
are so controlling sometimes. Like, why? I mean, this is a grown-up. He already betted on
Yes.
his own without his dad. You know,
Yes.
you need your tire. Okay, that's his luck. You know,
Yes.
so-
Are you Pastor Ezekiel's father?
Hiyo ni nyota.
You need your tax,
No, no, no.
kweli. Just some holy water.
Na naona 40 zuko na nyota.
Kabisa, unaona? I see it too. I'm feeling it. That's why I'm here. Yeah, but for sure, you should not rain on somebody's parade, right? Yeah,
So,
parent or not.
Yeah.
I think that many old generation parents do not understand these new things. You know, betting is a phenomenon, probably is a rural setup. So they just think betting and stealing as the same thing.
It's the same.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, yeah.
everything which you do not understand, and it is
It's
there.
probably religious, actually.
Yeah,
Most
anything
likely.
you
Yeah.
don't
Cult or
understand,
something.
you always brand it evil.
Yeah.
Anything you don't understand. Even if you will go to the village and you have a black car or you change the cars, you say, this guy is Illuminati now. Where did he get the money? Because they believe that anything they don't understand.
But we've been conditioned.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Yes,
then me, I've seen people and I'm
We've
just
been
like,
conditioned.
that
Yes.
person.
Is
Wash,
Illuminati.
wash.
You understand?
Yeah, me, I've seen people I'm like, that's a wash,
Anything.
wash person.
An African person, when he doesn't understand something,
It's wash wash.
is wash, or is the devil, or is...
Although
That's how we
others
are
are
cultured.
wash.
Yeah, there are wash, wash
But-
people. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
But most of them, even if you are doing an honest job and you got your money right, someone will always think. So the ability of not understanding some things is what brings us there. And in a changing world, I think that it is important, for example, for parents to allow, if you're a 19-year-old son, just tell him, umeshinda. I mean, I do not advocate for it. My beliefs do not follow. My value system does not allow me to bet. But it is your luck. Use it wisely.
Maybe he's just trying to protect his son, but he's
Yeah.
going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think maybe his heart is in the right place. But
Or even perhaps also it could be that when men are going through a financial crisis or in a certain situation financially, they want the help to come
from themselves.
Not
from
from his
themselves.
child.
So yeah. So the fact that this has come from his son.
So is it like a
I
blow
think-
to the ego?
I think so too. Also, could be a point where he just feels that it should have come from me,
Yeah, you see,
That's a point.
kind of thing.
it's crazy the way we look at things. But the Nigerians also have many issues to deal with, especially in the villages. That's
Yeah.
why their movies are either witchcraft.
But we're headed there.
Their movies
God
is
forbid.
Towards which?
We are headed there. I mean, like, we are becoming very Nigerian, don't you think? Listen to our music, listen to our... Look at
God
our top
forbid.
10, top
Witchcraft
15.
will not touch
Anyway,
us.
guys, I think
Yes.
it's just been crazy.
Yes.
Can we close this?
Yeah, take us to break.
This is the Posh Queen, and we're just going to take a little short break, and we'll be right back after this.
All right, guys, we are back with our last segment on Let's Be Real, and I want us to talk about NHIF. Who here has NHIF?
I do.
We should all have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know why I'm saying we should all have it, because once I say this story, maybe we shouldn't. So a lot of people are complaining. I feel like this has been an ongoing complaint, that if you're not in the civil service, your NHIF is pretty much useless. You'll go to the hospital, you have a bill of 800K, then NHIF say, yeah, we'll pay 10K, or we'll pay 12K. So a lot of people have been complaining about that. And then there's also been complaints, I was reading an article that a lot of hospitals in rural areas are not accepting NHIF anymore because they're not being paid. Like they're not being honored. So what do you guys think? Is NHIF even useful at this point if you're not in the civil service? Should it not be compulsory because a lot of people who are paying for the NHIF are not able to receive proper services from them? What's your take, Mr. CEO?
One, and the first thing is that Kenya is broke. I like saying this all the time. Kenya is broke.
Press us.
We are a broke country. We don't have money. The government is trying to raise finances. There's a loan which the IMF is going to give us. which will go to the counties, a bit of it will pay salaries. That's why civil service have not been paid for a long time. How does the government raise money? The government raises money first from external donors, external borrowing from external, or internally. How do you borrow money internally? You borrow money internally from either local banks, local financial institutions, or funds. Which ones? National Social Security Fund, NSSF, or National Health Insurance Fund.
So they're taking our money.
So the money which you pay sometimes
Every month?
every month, and that's why you want to pay a house levy.
Are you escalating things? Are we escalating or de-escalating?
I'm just
I'm
so shocked.
joking.
I feel like
We
we're
pay for
escalating.
insurance and our government is taking that
No,
money.
look at
That's what you're
facts.
telling us.
I'm
What?
saying that assume you're in the house. You don't have gas, you don't have this, but you have money for food. So you'll pick some of that money and put it here.
True.
So
Isn't
stop
it?
lying to us that we're paying for health insurance when we're really paying
You are paying for health insurance. But what I'm trying to say is that you look at the priority,
Tunachanga.
the order of priorities and how you need to use that money. So this fund is not as, you see the money, there's no money which is put somewhere and is locked under lock and key. You understand? So when money comes, you know, that's why we say there's a financial budget, there's a physical budget, and there's a money budget. A physical budget is just an inspiration of what you want
He
to
explains the worst things in the nicest way. You know,
But
I'm not
I'm
even
still-
so angry anymore. I was
yeah, very
angry,
angry,
but
yeah.
there's a way you've just broken it down so kindly.
So
that
you're
I just
okay
have
paying
to.
for NHIF
no,
even
it
though you don't
makes
get
me
the
very
services?
sad. But the way he's just explained it, like
It makes sense to you.
But it's true. I mean, the country is in a bad state.
Yeah.
Tusidanganyane.
Yeah, to
I was even
achieve
sorry. I was even wondering this yesterday when our president was saying that the Hustler Fund has been increased from 20K to $1 million for organized groups, registered. I was wondering, okay, so where is that money going to come from? But it begs the question, therefore, to pay or not to pay? Because now, if you pay, you go, you will get the card is now becoming null and void everywhere. So do I continue paying? Because now, in the hope that the situation will get better at some point, or do I just stop altogether?
See me,
But if I stop altogether,
I'll stop and I'll start repaying when the situation gets better.
No, you just continue paying.
Yeah.
Just continue paying. Things will work out eventually.
Yeah, I
we
think
have
so.
to be positive.
I think you just have to
because
continue paying because if you
it's
stop,
our country.
Yeah.
If we stop, then you know everything falls apart. Like we just have to.
I think for me, it's the deception. I'm just saying, you're telling me pay for this insurance, it will cover you. But then when it comes, and you know, a health crisis is such a horrible situation for anyone, for any family. So when you feel like
When
we
you-
have been paying this thing for 10 years, now is the a time
But I
really
think it's
need
also
it. And then it doesn't come
psychological.
through.
No,
just
it's also
like,
psychological because when you stop paying, what are we saying?
I'm saying that you're
Are
not
we
giving
saying
me
that?
value for my money.
So are we saying that as a country we've completely given up and
But
we
you
are
see-
letting everything go?
But you see, also the ones who can stop paying are the ones who are unemployed.
Yeah.
Because there's the
Oh, yeah, 'cause employment, you
yeah,
have
there's
to,
the
you don't have a choice.
There's a cover there that I pay for 500 bob. Us we can stop paying, but for those who are in
Yes, in
formal
you can't.
employment,
We don't have a choice.
it's automatic.
Yes.
So just keep paying.
Just keep paying.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes and pretend.
Yes.
Pretend your bills will get paid.
I just hope it's a season, yo.
Yeah.
No, it's a season. It's a season, but what we need to do is prudent management of our finances,
Yeah.
and we need to realize as a country
Yeah.
and cut back on our wastages.
Cut back on our wastages.
Let me ask you,
because
CEO,
Yes.
why is it that civil servants get proper NHIF coverage and us we don't, but we're paying also?
What do you mean?
not civil servants only, anybody who is employed.
No, but what I'm saying is, because a lot of what people are saying online is if you're a civil servant, even if you go to a hospital, one of the first things they'll ask you if you want to use NHIF, are you a civil servant or not? And what they're saying is a lot of people who are civil servants, they're the ones who will get huge chunks to pay their entire bills. But then everyone else, they're like, no, we don't accept unless you're a civil servant. Why?
Yeah, because of contributions. Look at it this way. A civil servant probably has been working for, and people work for many years, 10, 15, 20 years. His contributions have been there all along. You know, when you get into employment space, your NHIF is mandatory. You start deducting from the day one. So this money, your money is actually there and lots of it. So if they look at the numbers of people who've contributed for a couple of time, it will be disastrous to deny. And by the way, even those civil servants, they just pay the bed. They don't pay much. Because many other organizations have, apart from NHIF, they have insurance from private sector.
Yeah.
And maybe that's
So-
what we should be encouraging people
So
if
now,
you can afford.
yes, the private sector pays for you the bills. The
But it's sad,
NHIF
because
pays
the
the
government
pay.
should ideally be able to back
I
us
know,
up, you know?
yeah.
Because we do pay taxes. I mean, we
lot.
do what we're supposed to do, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I pay my taxes. We
Yeah.
all support.
Yeah.
So I think we hope that in time, we'll get
It
there.
will change.
Yeah.
The government is a big institution. We call it is a going concern and a perpetuity. It continues. So you'll have bad times and good times. We are the worst time. But let's move on.
To a happier topic,
I know
please.
it's so heavy, but it's not happy.
Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, His Excellency, the President of Uganda, the man with the Ankole cows, the man with the big cape,
What?
the man with a walking stick.
What
He's a
has he
great man.
done?
And what
The
kind of
longest
shoes?
serving
What
president in
has
Africa.
he
Aya
done?
is a great
With
man.
that intro.
It's not good.
He's a,
So recently, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Sebo, decided to pass one of the laws which the Western countries will actually not be happy with,
Outraged.
and they are outraged. He passed the anti-gay bill and said that same-sex relationships, death penalty.
Yeah.
That's what Museveni has passed. And now, in Uganda, I like the way Museveni says. Museveni was saying the other day that he was being asked about, he said, does those things happen? I think the mouth is for eating. It's not for...
Aja.
every,
I think it's honestly very, very sad that it happened. I
Yes.
understand. I mean, Africans we do have our ideals, but at the same time, there should be freedoms that are afforded to everyone. What you're doing between your sheets is your business, you know. I don't think anybody comes to your door to knock to check what it is you're doing, you know. So I feel like that's a freedom that should be afforded to every human being, regardless of what continent you come from.
Yeah.
It's a human rights issue.
I think I'm kind of on two sides. I think the punishments and things like that are a little bit outrageous. I don't understand how you are willing to kill somebody because
For sex.
of
I mean,
having sex
what?
with. As long as it's two consenting adults, I don't think that's something that is worthy of death.
Yeah.
Or
I have my
imprisonment for
views,
20
I'll
years.
speak.
I think that is too much. But on the other side, I will say there needs to be a respect for the diversity of our cultures and ideals and beliefs around the world. It cannot be that these countries believe this and so everyone else must believe that. And the thing that I find interesting, we have a lot of respect for Islamic countries and a lot of their traditions. A lot of their traditions are not agreed upon by, let's say, the West, but we have a lot of respect. And we let them like, yo, it's your country, by the way you do what you guys do. I don't understand why that respect is not transferred to African cultures and African beliefs. So that when it comes to Africa, it's like, no, all your beliefs are all backwards, and no, you must do what us in the West are doing. I think our cultures, our history should be our tradition should be respected as well. But I do think that that's going a bit far. It's going a bit far.
Melissa, I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%. However, I don't feel like that law is draconian. Like
Yes.
he could have just left it as is.
Yeah.
He didn't need to have a law.
well, I think
I
leaving
think,
it-
I think he's proving a point. I think that's what he's trying to
But
do.
it's
Like
crazy.
He's proving it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of the reason they're doing it. Is
Melvo?
to prove a point of you guys stop it now. Yeah.
what two adults, consenting adults, do in their sheets, of course, is their business.
Yeah.
Yes.
To me, that's the business. However, Museveni could not have left it in a vacuum like that, in a gray area. For me, homosexuality is unnatural. A man and a man and a woman is completely unnatural. To put a death sentence on it has gone too far. In Kenya, it's illegal, but there's no death sentence. The death sentence bit for me doesn't work. However, the point where it could have remained, because we are Africans, we are also Christians, these things are not allowed, you know, and of course it opens the big question of, you know, but the other things. But we also know that the bigger agenda is coming from somewhere,
Yeah,
where this thing is now being pushed down our throat. And there's a bigger conversation that can take a long time to discuss here.
So would you say it would be okay if what he had said was, we're not going to make the promotion of it legal? Not you, if you want to do it, but we're not going to allow you to promote it.
It remains illegal. It remains illegal. If you're found, you know, they could have come up with some sentence,
Yes.
whatever, but not death sentence.
Yes.
But it should have remained illegal, because you see, also we have now things like it's gone.
But the world
Where
is changing.
the world is changing.
guys. You can't run away from that fact. Even for Africa, the world is changing.
But the world-
Even countries like Saudi Arabia are having to change. They had refused to change for many years, but they're now allowing women to do. You know,
Yeah.
the world
True.
is changing, and it's about time we accepted, even as Africans, that the world is changing.
But I do think there's
Listen,
limitations.
The world
Guys.
is changing, but the
Yeah.
sun is not rising from the west to the east.
But you see, the
A man
thing is,
remains a man, a woman remains a woman.
I
Not
agree.
necessarily anymore.
Pushing
So that
this
one is
pushing this
changing,
LGBTIQ XYZ agendas down our throat is always wrong. When we're telling kids, oh, if you feel like becoming a girl in the afternoon,
At
you're telling a boy
unisex
you're a
toilet.
girl,
Nobody
and
said
tomorrow you
that.
can be a
No,
boy,
but
tomorrow you
yeah,
can be a
that's
whatever.
where I
Nobody
draw the
said
line.
that.
That's
When
where
it
it
comes to
begins.
kids, I draw the line.
That's where it begins,
Yeah.
Melissa.
No, listen,
Yeah, what do you say, CEO?
You see, and
We're
one,
saving the best for last.
Yeah.
I will go to the Bible. There's a verse.
Bible tenor.
What?
Let's go to the Bible.
Go to
They are
the Bible
called
and then African
unnatural
culture.
acts. And then the first war which was fought in Israel, if you read the Bible keenly, there's a verse about the Levite and the prostitute. The Levite and the prostitute. Mark those two words. There's a Levite who went to visit the father-in-law, and he was dating a prostitute. First of all, Levites are not allowed to marry because they work in church. So when they stayed there for long in this father-in-law's house, when they decided to go back to Jerusalem, they decided to sleep in someone's home. And in that town, at night, there were so many homosexuals who started knocking the door, asking the man of the house, allow that man who came in, we want to do something with him. So the man begged them and told them, do not do that to my guest. Please, I'd rather give you my virgin daughter and the concubine of this man, the prostitute. And they were thrown out. These men pleased themselves, and in the morning, the woman was killed. When the man realized the wife was killed, he carried her in a donkey and cut her into pieces. This is the Bible I'm reading about. Cut her into pieces.
Do we have the same Bible?
I'm like,
Yes.
where is that?
Cut her into 12 pieces, representing the 12 tribes of Israel. And through each and every part in every tribe. When guys woke up the next morning, they were really shocked. And they decided to know what had happened. And they were told it is the people of this who advocate for same-sex had made sure made this man to kill the girl and sent the part. This man was angry. That was the first war. And the man was from the Benjamites. All the men from Benjamites were slaughtered. So what I'm trying to say, am I saying? I'm saying that biblically, these acts which are natural bring a catastrophe. If goes unchecked. And we know these things are being sponsored from someone and somewhere. You see, everyone here, may I have kids.
Yeah. We all have kids, actually. Yeah.
Cartoons are there. The whole the epicenter of Netflix is premised nowadays that in the movie productions, there must be same-sex affairs. So that it's being dragged down. It's there. It's a whole thing which is going on. My problem is that the same people who are saying that homosexuality or LGBTQ is okay cannot allow me as an African,
To have a different view.
an African
Yeah.
who believe in polygamy, And you start to tell me that polygamy is unnatural.
But you
So you are telling me LGBTQ is natural.
But
Polygamy, which I'm brought up in,
is unnatural.
is unnatural. That is double standards.
Yeah, which is what I was saying, that you need to
So you do
respect
not
African
respect
culture.
my culture where I'm allowed to marry 2 wives. And you just start telling me it is backward. It is retrogressive. It does not move with times. So the one you've brought is the moving with
Then
times.
was there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was
I don't
saying.
even
We need
think-
to respect
okay,
each other's
wait.
point of view.
I don't
There needs to be
think
space for
I
more
don't
than
think
one
it has
opinion.
to be that you're being taken back in time, because I think there's so much more advancement even with polygamy.
Yes,
there's not
yes.
even polyandry.
Yes.
I think it's just respecting each other's.
They have to.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has to respect each
The
other.
white
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
and this is my parting shot, the white man must realize that we are Africans. There are things which are fundamentally African in us. And we respect their, if they want to do their LGBTQ, and if there are black people or Africans who want LGBTQ, it's up to them.
We just don't need
It's
to
not mine.
kill anyone.
It is
Yeah,
not
we
mine.
definitely
Like
don't need to
such- 'cause
kill
it's not-
people.
But for
personal
me and
freedoms,
for me,
honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's no
totally
space
agree
for
with
that.
you.
Yeah. And my
Yeah.
parting shot is the white man must realize that we are
Why
black.
are we saying white man?
Because it's
The-
your
the-
culture.
because- yeah,
Yes,
oh,
right now.
okay, the West.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
West.
I feel like we also have
Let me
to
say the
be-
West. The
Yeah.
West must realize. The West must realize that we are black men, we are African, Africa is our business,
It is.
and we shall remain to be strong black men.
I don't think anybody
This
has said that
this
it's-
point of trying to weaken us and trying to muffle our population growth and trying to bring their sissy agendas here, we just said no.
I think we.
just drink from the bottle.
I know, for this point, just down it, just down it.
I think
I think we just need, like what you were saying, we just need
need for the glass.
we need to have a space enough for more than one agenda to exist. And we need to
Yeah.
respect different people. People come from very different cultural backgrounds, and I don't think it's fair to say yours is wrong but mine is right. Because the
Correct.
moment you say that, they lose respect for you and they won't
We're
even
all about
listen to you.
diversity.
I know, keep your diversity, but I also think if someone wants to believe something differently from me or live their life however which way they want to
And
live,
you know,
do it.
and you know
Don't tell
what
me
we
what to
spoke
do,
about
but
earlier.
you do it, no problem.
We react the way we do because of fear. It's
Yeah.
a fear of the unknown. You don't want to marry another tribe because of fear. You don't want to be LGBTQ because of fear. They don't want anything to do with polygamy because of fear. It's just fear.
Yeah.
And once we see it as a global world, that it's all based on fear,
Yeah.
we'll stop fearing each other
Yeah.
and start to embrace each other
So
a
maybe
little
look
bit
at differences
more.
with curiosity
Yeah.
rather than the
Let's be a
fear.
bit more curious. Not
But I
curious in
applaud
that
my
way.
good Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I applaud you. You are a strong African leader. Keep it up.
Give it
I
up.
don't agree
No.
with
You've
it.
drawn the
That's not
line,
bad.
you've
That's not
spoken for
killing me.
I
Ugandans,
don't
and just
agree
fine.
with it.
Yeah, I think the women we've said we're not agreeing with this.
Yeah,
Let's be
we're here for
inclusive. Let's be
diversity,
more curious
love,
about each other
and-
rather than judgmental.
And let's embrace each other.
Yeah.
We have embraced them.
Okay, guys. Whew.
That was, yeah.
How much can we bend back?
Let's just open the last bottle.
I know, and just like
you
let
guys
them
can
drink
drink
down
from
so
the
they can
bottle.
calm down. I've really enjoyed our conversations today, you guys.
And thank you
It's
for
been
having me.
Thank you for coming.
I
Come
hope
back
it
again.
was
Such a
fun
great
with me.
It was amazing. Come back again.
Yeah,
Please
Leo.
come back again. We really
Come back again.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I
Thank
want
you.
to say a huge thank you to Samantha Wines. Woo, you've kept us going throughout this conversation. These wines can be found pretty much everywhere. Like we said at the beginning of the show, the rosé is like the fastest selling rosé, guys. It's so, so good. So get yourselves a bottle. And thank you to Maybelline for my makeup. Really appreciate it. Guys, in the comments, let us know what you think about these topics. I know you've seen us have very strong opinions. We want to know what you guys' opinions are as well. So share them in the comments. And we will see you again next week on Let's Be Real.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Get your bottle.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I drink water.
With your water.
Drink
Yeah.
your water.